What's up?
No, what's up?
We're live, by the way, just so you know. What is up? What is up, home skillet? How's it hanging? Let's see. My seat's already warm.
What's up?
I was looking for you.
I really want one of the little clicker doodles. You know?
Oh, where you can like click through?
Yeah, if we can set that. Fabulous.
That would be top tier.
Top here, yes.
I got you. I'll see what I can do. Oh, you guys are color coordinated. We like to match. We're part of the team.
It's a little cold in here.
It's always cold here.
Sweater, sweatshirt, t-shirt, polo, sweatshirt.
Well, I'm from Arizona, so I run warm.
Yeah.
I'm basically a lizard, you know? Lizard.
All right, so I got my clicker here. Do you have the little trophy deals?
Yeah,
Let me get
Somewhere.
those. All right, sweet. How does,
George.
is this thing even? Oh. All right, now it works. Cool. Did you share the screen for Google Meet? Because I think some people have Google Meet. Yeah.
I do.
Did you share the screen for Google Meet?
No.
Okay, let's do that. And no belt until next month.
All right, sweet.
The belt is sort of.
I don't know if you want to show them what's coming up.
All right, fine. Since we got it out, I think I look pretty good.
Yeah, it's going to YouTube, so I'll just share the YouTube link.
Oh gosh, I need to lose some weight. All right. Cool. So we're in August. No, we're in September. August is done. That's a quick month.
You gotta put it back on the PowerPoint.
What's that?
So you gotta put it back on the PowerPoint.
I'm good, right?
Yeah, oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, because you can just do it through there.
All right. Hello, everybody. We're going over August. Hard to believe we're already in September. So this is the last month of the third quarter of 2024. I'm actually going to get to the belt later because it's in the PowerPoint, but I'll set that aside. It's not obnoxious at all. Okay. So August was a little bit slower for us. We closed 21 units for 4.3 million. So, we're still busy, we're still closing deals, but we definitely want to tick that up a little bit. That's below our sort of average and what our standard is. For loans paid off, we had 25 loans pay off for 4 million. So we actually have more loans pay off. We had more loans pay off for less dollars. So go figure. Anyway, our portfolio actually went down by 4 loans. So we appreciate the borrowers that pay us off. That is part of the bridge cycle, is getting the money back. So thank you guys for paying us back. Here's a highlight of a project we did, or a loan funding we did. This is in Savannah, Georgia. Savannah is Lori's favorite city, so it's a fun city. I don't know if you've been there, but anyway, this was looks like a 146 purchase and a 50K rehab, so 195 project, and they exited for 265. So I don't know who did the math on this, but may want to just check that. Yeah, anyway, it looks more profitable than that. So I think the math is incorrect on that slide. Anyway, if the project was 195 and the sale price was 265, and the closing costs were, $5 grand, then the gross would have been about 60,000 for that deal. So that was a good deal, assuming these numbers are correct. Okay, so this is the last month that we're going to be doing an award for pre-approvals. Moving forward, we're going to focus more on closings. We're seeing a drop down in pull-through rate. And I really want us focusing on closings more and not just necessarily qualifying loans. And I was kind of I probably wasn't asking as many questions as I should have up front. And it was to try and get the pipeline moving. But the problem is, if we're moving deals up that we aren't confident about, then it's not going to be a smooth process. So we're going to track this internally, but we're not going to sort of create an award for it, because it is important, but it's not nearly as important as closings. But at any rate, with 4 pre-approvals last month was Jamie. Jason had 5, and Christian had 6 pre-approvals. So we appreciate you guys. Good job. We get, Christian will get this beautiful trophy and $1,000 on your next check this week. So good job there. This is for closing volume. So for 3rd place closing volume, 522, we had Gerard. 2nd place with Jamie, 700K, and 1st place Christian again. So doubling up on the 1st place trophies.
Christian,
so, good job, Christian. So a new gold medalist, and he doubled up on.
He said thank you.
He doubled up on trophies. So $1,000 for that one too. So $2 grand, but no one cares about the money. It's all about
the sweet hardware.
It's all about the hardware. It's this pure gold. You can melt it and resell it.
Do
for
not.
Probably like 2 cents.
Do not take us at face value on that one.
Actually, what we should do, we should put $1,000 worth of gold in the trophy and intentionally not give them the cash.
That's evil.
He's going
They
to
want the money, they have to trade it.
Christian said I'm going to buy a trophy case.
He's gonna buy a trophy case. That's great. Big Kahuna expires this month. That is the belt, of course, biggest loan of the quarter. Okay. The bar is pretty low right now. It's not a winner yet, not yet. Perfect. The current leader is Gerard with 522. So I feel like we can make a run at that. So Gerard is currently, what we say in golf is you're the leader in the clubhouse. So you're the leader right now. but it could change. So, but this was a good deal in Miami. Good borrower that we've been talking to for a couple of years. Finally got to the closing table on a fix and flip for him. That borrower actually, I think, is bankable. I think he goes to his bank for ground ups, but he wanted to use us for his flips just because of how quick we are. So, nice to have new borrowers, especially bankable borrowers that choose to use us for one reason or another. Okay, a couple things in the news. I'm going to be recording a little bit more content, and I've invited some of you to shoot that with me. We're doing a monthly webinar starting September 18th. I believe Heather is hosting that. I might be on there periodically. And then very exciting, we're going to be using SiteWire for draws. So this should speed up the draw time, maybe a day, maybe 2 days on average, because we're not going to have to wait for a third-party inspector to accept the job, show up, and then reschedule or cancel. So all of those risks associated with third-party inspections should mostly go away. And we think this will make us a much more competitive lender, so that you guys can sell more loans and so we can do a better job, retaining the best kind of customers. So I think this is a really good change.
That's exciting.
And I'm excited for it, yeah.
Like that.
Linktree, just for, information on us. And now we're going to get into special topic, which this month is liquidity, okay? So we are going to go into liquidity because I haven't got too many questions on this from all different angles. And I'm not pointing the finger at anyone. Everyone asks about it, so it's totally cool. But we're going to talk a little bit about liquidity today. See, we got to go. This thing has to go up here, I think. I'm doing it right. And then this is what I did before, right? Yeah, okay.
It's over here. Oh, never mind. Just one.
Go to green cash we're talking about. All right. Who can tell me our formula for required reserves on a purchase?
Don't know the formula.
Preferably someone not on processing.
Sorry, processing.
And not Tyler,
Oh,
because he
Jason's
can
up.
cheat. Sort of. Yes, that is on the right track. So I guess that's why we do these special topics, because this is something that's very important, and I recorded it in a video that's somewhere hidden that no one can find. So it's good to just have a refresher, I think. So our formula for purchase is going to be, it's going to be down payments plus, does anyone know? I'm starting to write the answer. Down payment plus 10%. You know what? Oh. We'll go down payment plus loan. We'll do this, and then what do you do? That. And we got PennDOS. Everybody know PennDOS. Down payment times 10% of the loan plus, and then chimed in, yeah, plus 10,000. Plus, there's one more thing missing. It's kind of a trick question, but there's one more piece missing. Purchase only.
Evan said closing cost.
No. It's kind of a trick question. It's almost unfair. I'll give it another couple seconds. All right, down payment plus 10% loan plus 10,000 plus, borrower portion. Yeah, okay. So the formula is down payment plus 10% loan amount plus 10,000 plus the borrower's portion of their own rehab. Does that make sense to everybody? Like if they bought a property. This is purchase only, Aiden, she must be at home. Thank you for chiming in. This is a purchase only. So if they're buying a property, this is what we want to see. Whoops, who's here? Sure. Okay, so formulas are one thing. It feeds into required reserves. I think for me, it's easier to just think of these things logically with common sense and not, going back to algebra and trying to do equations, right? So how much cash do you need to do a deal? Well, you need your down payment, which is, it's pretty obvious, like you need it. If we're not funding the rehab and you are, well, you need cash to do that, okay? So I think these two things are fairly common sense. I hope everyone's with me. Okay. Where it gets a little more nuanced is these extra things we add in. And so these are judgment calls. A lot of lenders want to see like 9 months of reserves, 6 months of reserves, but then they want to see certain allocation for closing costs. The way we did it is we just simplified it. I didn't want to look at taxes and insurance and have you calculate 9 months of that and then solve for it and then get a preliminary settlement statement, right? We're just fat numbering it to be quick. But if you have your down payment and you have your own money for the rehab, you still need some money to pay your interest throughout the 1 year or 6 month or 9 month term of the loan, okay? So I figured, and you could disagree with me, maybe go a little more conservative or less, probably shouldn't be less conservative. But I figure you need at least 10% of the loan amount set aside to make interest payments, number one, and to pay your closing costs, number two. And really, if you figure closing costs are going to eat up 3 to 4% of this, that's really only half the year. So it's a pretty aggressive estimate. If you don't have this, you really aren't in business doing the deal, okay? So this is like, how much money do I need for closing costs plus a few payments? A few payments, right? And the 10 grand just lets us feel secure that you're actually in a financially strong enough position to float the project in between draws. And that you can actually pay your rent or your mortgage or your house expenses, and you're not dipping into these funds to go just have your ordinary, expenses. So you shouldn't be scraping by with like no extra pennies, because that's where we see a lot of issues with our portfolio right now is people that are overstretching. So this is bare minimum what we want to see, and it's bare minimum common sense. Really, you should have more, okay? So this is bare minimum what central lending wants to see to qualify your loan. This is bare minimum common sense cash. You should have more, okay? Let me just see if there's any questions on that. I don't think so. Okay. So, and then this is to start the rehab. Start rehab. And then plus maybe just like contingency fund, right? At the risk of going Dave Ramsey on this thing, you should have some money set aside for mishaps or whatever. So pretty common sense amount. Can someone shut that door? Okay. On a refinance, it's a little different. And I'm getting a lot of questions on refinances. So I feel like I'm gonna, now that I'm just doing it live, I feel like I'm gonna get it wrong. But you know, what I do is, again, it's not about formulas, it's about thinking about it logically. So if you own a piece of real estate, how much cash do you need to get the project done? I'm just gonna take a look and see if anyone's guessing the formula. It doesn't look like we have too many brave souls. Okay, there's a couple of things that need to happen. And refinances are more tricky. I think that's why I'm getting too many questions about this. So there's a couple of things that need to happen. One, project has to be finished. Project must get finished. And then two, I will say two, our loan helps. Our loan goes towards this total. And then three, we have to pay off the current loan if there is one. Pay off current loan, if applicable. So the formula for refinance, we already own the real estate, right? So we're taking that out of the equation. We no longer have to purchase the property. Already have, okay? But the project has to get finished. So this is the, what's it called Monday? After closing construction, budget, not reserve, okay? So this is the budget. Right, so the formula is going to be the budget, because that's what we have to invest into the property to get it to the finish line. Okay. Minus, we actually get to subtract the loan amount here. And I'll do little things like this. Plus, we have to pay off the current loan. Plus current debt. I'll just call this pay off. Little brackets, okay? Does that make sense? We have to finish the project. So let's say that the budget is 250, but we can subtract the loan. Let's say the loan is 200 for your 250K project. Now you got a delta of 50. And let's say you have an existing loan of 50. 250 minus 200 is 50, plus 50 is 100.
What does it mean when it says our loan goes towards this total? Which total?
I'm just saying this, the loan that's
Oh, the
in
loan.
our loan tape,
Okay, got
right? They need to finish their project, but our loan is going to help them get there.
it. Finished. Okay, never mind, I got it.
Okay, so I'm not memorizing formulas. I'm just thinking of it in terms of common sense. I'm doing a construction loan. I finish my project. That's going to cost me my budget amount. A loan's going to help me get there. So I can take that off the top. And then I need to pay the existing lien at closing so that the mortgage is at first position. Okay? So if you just think of it logically, the formula comes, kind of pencils out. And then we copy the mechanics from our purchase liquidity. So we're bringing these two mechanics into the formula as well. So we're adding these, right? So for the same reason, right? We want to see 10% of the loan amount so you can pay your closing costs and have a few interest payments left over. And then we want to see 10 grand as like a reserve so that you're not having to dip into this project's money to go pay your rent or make a car payment or whatever else, okay? And I'll just rewrite it. So this is plus loan amount times 10% plus 10,000 bucks. Okay. So this is purchase and this is refinance liquidity. Okay. So let me just see if any questions come in on that, and then I'm going to dive a little deeper on ground up because I'm getting a bunch of ground up questions about the same thing. Okay. I wish there was a way to like copy. A way to copy.
You duplicate the whole slide? And then erase part of it?
Yeah. Okay, cool. I'll just do it that way.
Into the other.
All right. Yeah, but I kind of want that at the top. I'm just going to rewrite it. Budget minus loan plus payoff. Okay. All right, so on a refinance, we're going to look at the ground up specifically. What's our formula? Just so I don't screw it up. So it's the budget. So just as a reminder, we're doing this is our formula. It's budget minus loan plus payoff plus payoff. Oops. Plus 10% loan plus 10% plus 10% loan plus. Okay, so let's look at a typical roundup deal, right? Let's say they purchased the lot for, I don't know, 50K. Okay, let's say that their construction budget is say that their budget is 250. Okay, and then let's say the reserve, let's say the loan amount is, let's say the loan amount is 200. And let's say the construction is 200. All right, and let's say the payoff is 0, just to make it easy. All right, who can, and let's say they purchased the lot already, okay? So already owned. All right, who can tell me the required reserves for this scenario? Yee, math question. Oh no, scary. Everyone's so shy. I don't even know. The entrepreneurial types should be screenshotting it and sending it to ChatGPT. In fact, if I have my phone on me, that's what I would do. Come on, you can use a calculator, you can have a machine do it for you. Send it to ChatGPT.
Karen guessed 65. I was guessing about 70. I don't know.
70, give or take, 65, give or take.
Yeah. So if you get 65, I
Let
get.
me get a few more. I'm gonna get one or two more guesses and then I'm gonna solve
Michelle.
it. 80. They got calculators out though.
81.
Makes me feel like.
It's in my head.
I guess mine is.
Okay, all right, so the budget is 250. Right, they need 250 to finish that, to build the house. Everyone's with me on that. Right? Our loan amount, and again, this can change, right? We can always change the loan amount, but we have to set it to truth somewhere and solve for a scenario. So the proposed loan amount is 200. So they need 250 to finish the house. We're giving them 200. So there's a 50 grand missing here that someone has to come up with to finish this project, okay? That's 50K plus the payoff of the land, if there's a lien on it, which in this example is 0, okay? So we're still at 50K plus 10% of the loan amount. The loan amount's 200, 10% of that is 20. So now we're 50 to 70 plus 10,000, 80.
No,
All right.
I see where I went wrong.
So does that make sense? We want to see 80 grand to pre-approve this scenario, okay? And again, that's a bare minimum number. That's not like some central lending be difficult to work with number. Like if you don't have that, you're going to get in trouble in the middle of the project. Or we're not understanding the scenario the way it's being articulated by the borrower, okay? And that happens a lot too, where, you know, the pushback comes to me, why is the required reserve so high? And I push it right back and I say, does your borrower understand the deal they're getting? Because usually they don't. If they don't understand the deal they're getting, you know, that can create friction. Anyway, 80,000 in this example. Now, what we've seen a lot is, what if we, what I've been seeing a lot is what if we take money out of here, what if we take 40 grand out of here and give them and only hold back 160? Okay. Can I hold back 160 in construction reserve and give them 40K closing and then like solve this liquidity problem? Okay. Yes or no? No. And anyone know why? Really, if we wanted to be a little bit more precise, we would add in the budget minus the loan. I'm trying to think of an easy way to explain this, but so on purchase, I shortened it, just down payment plus borrow a portion of the rehab. I'm trying to think of a way, I'm trying to come up with a short formula, but basically if we take 40 grand out of construction reserve and give it to them at closing, all it does if we take this out of the reserve and give this thing a closing, now they need another 40,000 to finish the job. So we're now funding 160. We were funding 200K of the construction loan. Now we're funding 160. So all we didn't actually do anything that helps. In fact, we could actually give them, oops, how do I this? We could actually give them 200,000. Right, we would never do that, but just hypothetically, we could give them 200K closing and have no money in construction reserve. It doesn't change the math. They still need 250 to finish the project. We're still giving them 200. It doesn't matter if we're giving them 100 today and 100 tomorrow, or 200 today or 200 tomorrow, or 150 tomorrow and 50 today. And so I'm constantly getting these like questions like, what if we do this or that? Can we manipulate the numbers? The answer is no. We can't manipulate liquidity to finish a real estate project. You can't do it, okay? Is this understood by everyone in the chat? So I'm really tired of getting this question on like all kinds of ground ups. We could fund 200 grand at closing and they would still have 80K required reserves. Numbers don't change. So they need 250 to finish the project. Our loan is for 200, whether we give it to them today, tomorrow, or 50-50, or this or that, it doesn't change anything. They still need their own side of the project. Then we have to add the payoff, then we have to add some wiggle room for interest payments and so on and so forth, okay? So I figured I would kind of cover this in front of everyone because we're getting a lot of questions on it for deals and screening. And just remember, like, you're not the bad guy by making sure they have enough cash to be successful with their project. You're actually helping the borrower stay out of trouble, and you're helping our servicing team. You know, you're saving a couple of migraines in the back office. You're helping the processing team because now we're not having like borrow funds to make the deal work where it doesn't. So just having these like good, intelligent conversations up front with your borrower is very important. So moving money from reserve to funded closing, it doesn't change anything. The math at the top is the same. Okay. They need this. They need this to get their project done. We're giving them this, okay? They need to pay off this. And then this is so that they don't go bankrupt during the process, okay? So they need this to do their project, one. We're giving them two. And again, it doesn't matter if we're giving it to them at closing or not, or in reserve, or a mixture. They have to pay off, which is three. And then four is you should have this so that financially it's a smart decision to proceed, okay? That's kind of the way to think about it on refinance, really any refinance, but I'm seeing this most often on refinance ground ups. Okay, that's it for today. So appreciate everyone hanging out, and we will have a good month this month. So, all right, bye guys.
Bye.
Before everybody gets up, once we stop recording,
Oh, how do I do that?
just hit the end button.
Oh, just hang up. Okay, cool.
Is the other part recording still?
Yeah, my phone's.
Don't go anywhere.
I'll turn it off.
Okay. I just don't want.
Here, sharing secrets.
Are we off everywhere?
Yeah, you're off, I think. I don't need to be up there.
No, you do.
Oh.
Yeah, just real quick.
Just gotta make sure.